Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Project Zomboid guide series. Today we will be discussing one of the most important aspects of the game, finding the ideal base. In this video, I will show you some of the tips and tricks to help you secure the perfect location for your base. Before we start, it is important to note that your base should have three key elements: accessibility, defensibility, and resources. You want to be able to reach it easily, protected from zombie attacks, and have access to food, water, and other essentials. Now let's dive deep into the step-by-step process for finding and maintaining the ideal base in Project Zomboid. First things first, we need to find the perfect spot for our base. And just like real estate, location is key. But hold on, we don't want to set up shop in the middle of town where zombies are roaming around like tourists. Instead, look for a location that's a little off the beaten path, yet still easy to reach. Maybe a gated community or a storage facility with high walls for protection. Additionally, consider the layout of buildings and other structures in the area. You want to find a location that provides ample space for you to build and fortify your base. There are several good locations in every major town in Project Zomboid. Just to mention a few, in Riverside, the US storage facility west of town or the gated community east of town are good options. When I played in Muldrow, I tend to settle in the gated community southeast of town, the single gated house north of town, or the famous McCoy Logging Company warehouse west of town. In Rosewood, the gated community west of town or the fire department are recommended. And for the most seasoned players, I would suggest try and set up base in the Knox prison outside Rosewood. Just bear in mind you will need a ton of ammo and a good strategy to clean the place up before settling down, since the place is totally infested. West Point is a bit more complicated, since most of the buildings don't have a built-in rampart, so you'll have to create it for yourself most of the times. Either way, mansions located outside the town in the upper west portion of the map have high walls with a lot of natural resources. And for the more adventure players, I would recommend either Twiggy's or the storage facility, both of them located east of town. In this video, I won't cover possible locations for Louisville, since I intend to post a whole video just to talk about the subject, so stay tuned for more content. Now that we have found the ideal location, it is time to assess the resources available in the area. The importance of different types of resources will vary depending on the type of run you are playing. In early stages of the game, you want to be near a grocery store, a supermarket, or a gas station, since all of these places are packed with food and supplies. This is particularly useful since crop lasts several weeks to be ready for harvest, and you don't want your character to become a walking skeleton before you even get beaten. In later stages of the game, your base should be set up based on your long-term goals. For example, if you intend to grow your own food, you should make sure you have enough space within your property to plant your crops. If you want to subsist by fishing, make sure you have a nearby body of water like a pond or a river. And if hunting is your thing, nearby forests are great places to set up your traps. Okay, so we've got a great location and plenty of resources. But wait, there is more. We need to make sure our base is defensible against zombie attacks. Because let's face it, zombies love to crash the party. Look for a location with high walls, such as the aforementioned gated communities. a secure entrance, and a clear line of sight so you can see those zombies coming from a mile away. A neat tip to bear in mind is that you can set cheap ropes in second floor windows for access, and break the stairs with a sledgehammer. This way zombies won't be able to enter and you'll have a zombie-free guarantee. Another fine tip is to use small fences to trip up zombies, giving you a window of opportunity to go straight to the head. Just watch out for their lunges. Remember when we talked about having a base with plenty of space? Well, now that we have found the perfect spot, it is time to build our base. Build rain collectors on top of water taps so you can have infinite amounts of water. Fortify your entrances with gates, doors and walls. Create a storage room where you can keep all of your supplies at hand. And overall, start developing a base that allows you to survive the long run and that you can also call a home. By the way, I will link a video in the description down below about an insane base I created so that you can grab some ideas for your own base. Go check that out. Finally, it is important to keep your base in tip-top shape. Generally speaking, a big chunk of your time is going to be consumed in activities such as watering and farming your crops, cooking, preparing and storing your daily meals, and even exercising for those fitness and strength extra points. So, it is important to regularly maintain your supplies and make improvements where necessary. For example, you can do this by only harvesting your crops when they reach the seed-bearing phase instead of doing it in an early stage, since this allows you to gain more and more seeds every time. In general, a seed-bearing crop will give you around 7 to 15 seeds depending on the type of crop you're farming. You can also maintain your base and become more efficient by managing your inventory. The in-game menu allows you to see and keep track of all of your items, whether you're carrying them on your personal inventory, your bag, or other containers. Wooden crates are, in my opinion, the best containers in the game, since they give you a standard 60 carry capacity once you get carpentry level 7. And also, you can stack up to 3 crates on top of each other, giving you a total of 180 carry capacity for a single tile. Another crucial aspect of base maintenance is to stock up on gasoline. Gasoline starts becoming really important once electricity is gone and you start using generators, since they will allow you to power up your base with electricity for lighting, heating, and powering various appliances such as TVs, ovens, microwaves, and refrigerators. Yup, the same freezers you'll need to keep running to maintain your crops fresh. Gasoline is also useful because it allows you to create Molotov cocktails, which are great for dealing with hordes. Also, you can use gasoline for cooking or boiling water, but the most important of its uses is to fuel vehicles, which allows you to travel long distances, making it easier to scavenge for supplies and avoid danger. Which brings me to my next point, and perhaps the most important one. Always have a plan in case of a zombie attack, or at least an evacuation route in case of an emergency. In conclusion, finding the ideal base in Project Zomboid requires careful consideration of location, resources, and defensibility. But with these tips and tricks, you will be able to secure a base that's both safe and self-sustaining. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more Project Zomboid guides and related content. And as always, happy surviving! Bye bye!